game on Sunday. Are you pretty strict in that policy, or are there times to make exceptions?
Well, I think everything's, you have to look at things individually, I think, Chris. I mean, as a general rule, I would tell you that, historically, for 31 years, in coaching, it's difficult sometimes for players that don't practice often or much to play in the games and play well. So, obviously we're in constant communication with our medical staff. And we want to do what's the right thing for the players and obviously the best thing for the team. So we take each case individually. I certainly don't just have something written down on a stone that's the unwritten rule. But I think guys understand that's the best way to do things is to practice and then play.
You guys have, say for instance, rush defense, you guys have outlined many times why in the last 3 weeks it's been struggling. When in terms of comes to fundamental mistakes, are you less tolerant as the year goes on than say at the beginning of the year? When things should be rote, I guess, toward the end of the season.
Yeah, well, nothing's. You have to go out in football. You got to go out and prove it every single week. And so while, certainly our fundamental principles of tackling haven't changed really since we introduced it to the team back in April, or the principles of pursuit and those type of things. You have to continually work on them, or they, I don't want to say they erode, but they don't show up on film as consistently as they should. So you never take it for granted. I mean, you don't like to see it at any point in time, really, John.
I asked you yesterday about the code of conduct. You hadn't seen it. Did you have a chance to look over it?
Yeah, I had a chance to glance at it, and I think it's good. I think the thing that I took out of it the most part was, I think one of the opening statements was that first and foremost it's a privilege to be affiliated with the National Football League, and everybody affiliated has an obligation to uphold the high standards of the game. And I think that's really what I took out of it. I mean, there's a lot of other core principles in there that I'm certainly supportive of, but I think it's a great reminder for all of us.
Joe, in general, can a team throw at a cornerback and throw away from a cornerback?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, again, as long as you have a good handle on exactly where that particular player is going to line up, and again, it's all about your preparation and your teaching and how you go about the game plan. I think it's something that you can decide to do or not do. How much you want to do that? Again, I think every team kind of has different thoughts on that. I think that changes from week to week as well.
I don't know if you were asked yesterday. I wasn't here yesterday about Revis. What makes him so elite?
I think he's a very intelligent player, really. I mean, obviously he's very skilled. We know he's an outstanding athlete. But I think one of the things is he's got really good awareness and instinct and some of those things that I think really separate him.
Throughout the year, you talked a lot about consistency. Now we're almost at the end of the season. I mean, it seems like it's still the same issue. You guys haven't been consistent. I mean, do you agree with that?
Well, I think I'm going to try to see if I can get my weeks right. I think the last 10 weeks we've, really had opportunities to win each and every game. This week this past Sunday ended up being a 2-possession game. And I don't have it right in front of me when they exactly scored to make it a 2-possession game, but certainly had it, we were on the 4-yard line in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead. So I think our team's been competitive every week, especially the last 10, but consistently winning. Certainly, I'd have to say at 7-6, and we haven't been.